Hello, this is Leisha Breen with Journey to Greatness, 365 Days to Your Best Year Yet, and the author of the little book, Extraordinary People Living Ordinary Lives, Break Free. Break free from the herd and reclaim your greatness because you are great. And the only reason a person like you may not be living an extraordinary life, well, it's because you've allowed your bad habits and your stinking thinking to get in the way of your extraordinariness. Now, last week on Journey to Greatness, we talked about making the commitment to love yourself first. That's the beginning. That's where we need to start. We need to accept, whether we believe it or not, that we're worthy of an abundant life, that we're worthy of the good things in life. There are millions of people out there, maybe you're one of them, that does not feel you are worthy. We need to get out of our own way, and we need to embrace that we are lovable and we are worthy of a good life. That's where it starts. And then we start rebuilding that mindset of a person who loves themselves. And how do we do that? We do that by doing the things we need to do right by us. You doing the things you need to do right by you. So last week, you can go back and listen to the vlog on this very channel, Committing to Loving Yourself. And today we're going to talk about getting out of our own way, because most of the time we are our own biggest obstacles in life. And one of those biggest obstacles that stands in the way of our greatness, because remember this, the chances of you being born to the parents you were born to on the day you were born, well, the chances are 1 in 400 trillion. That makes you pretty extraordinary, wouldn't you agree? So what's holding you back? Let's take a look at this today and figure it out. Limiting beliefs. Join me. Okay, limiting beliefs. Let's tackle them once and for all. I know you've heard about them. We all have. But what exactly are they? And how do they come about? According to the dictionary, a belief is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. That doesn't mean it's true. It just means that you believe it to be true. So what's a limiting belief? Well, Louise Hay, she said, if you accept a limiting belief, then it will become a truth for you. So what is a limiting belief? There are things that hold us back from being all we can be. What's so scary about them is that we all have opportunities that surround us on a daily basis, but our limiting beliefs blind us to what opportunities lay before us. And they scare us into not taking action and pursuing them. Perhaps you're a person who wants a loving relationship in your life, and that person comes into your life. They're standing there right in front of you, but deep down inside you go, well, that person would never like me. I'm not worthy of love. I'm not a lovable person. That's an example of a limiting belief. Or you don't believe that you can pursue further education because you think you're stupid. Or you don't think you should ever leave your job because you're just not smart enough to learn some new tasks or some new skills. So you never try. Limiting beliefs, they hold us back from being all we can be. They stop us from realizing our full potential. They're insidious. They live under the radar screen. They're buried deep, deep, deep within our subconscious mind. So where do these beliefs come from? I'm too old. I'm too ugly. I'm not smart enough. I'm not lovable. Where do they come from? They come from our youth. They were created when we were children. The brain is not developed when we're children. The brain isn't even fully developed until we're 25, but from the time we're infants till we're about 10 years of age, we rely on the people around us to tell us right from wrong, to tell us what is true and what is not. And when we have a traumatic experience, either by accident or someone intentionally tries to hurt us emotionally, it scars our little heart, it scars our little minds, and we take it to be true. Our peers could affect us in negative ways. It can be our parents, either by doing something intentionally or unintentionally. But we believe them. And if we don't play private investigator, if we don't become aware of these negative consequences from these incidents in our life, we can take these lies, because limiting beliefs are lies. We can take them through our entire lifetime, and it can destroy our life. We can end up living half a life, or unfortunately 1/3 of a life, of what we really were capable of creating. And we're here to create and to become all we can be. So today we're talking about how to overcome these negative beliefs. Like I said, we have to play private investigator. So how do we do it? One of the easiest ways to get in touch with your limiting beliefs is to start a mindfulness meditation practice. Now, science tells us that we can practice meditation for as little as 10 minutes a day for 8 weeks, and it grows gray matter in the brain that involves empathy, focus, compassion, and many other areas in the brain that are positive, that allow us to take control of the things that are controlling us. You see, our brain is wired to be a bit on the negative side. It's called the negativity bias. In many ways, it's kept us alive. As a species, it's kept us alive and robust. But science now tells us that 80% of our thoughts are not only repetitive on a daily basis. We've had them, the thoughts we're having today are the ones we had yesterday, the day before that, the year before that, but 80% of them are negative. So that negativity, those negative thoughts, they cause us to take actions. And because they're so redundant, we take redundant actions. What we repeat, we get better at. Repetition is the mother of skill. Can you see now why it's so important to become aware of these negative thoughts, these limiting beliefs? Once we discover them, we have to be adult, because now we have this critical thinking mechanism up here that's fully developed called the frontal lobe, which we didn't have developed when we were children. We can now decipher between what is fact and what is fiction. We can say to ourselves, well, am I really that stupid? I just figured this out, and I've done this and that took some brains. I'm not stupid. And then you have to take, with that realization, more actions to prove it to the brain and overcome that limiting belief once and for all. I want to give you a couple examples. I was afraid of public speaking. And so I have said before that I went back to college for the 3rd time at 58 years of age to get my degree with a focus on psychology. And I did so by graduating with a 4.0. And I was a student that was a very poor student in elementary school, and through high school, I got D's and C's. And I had to work really hard to prove to myself that I wasn't stupid and that I was capable of being a good student. But that really held me back. That limiting belief that I'm a really horrible student and I'm not very smart held me back in life. It just did. And when I decided at a later age that I wasn't stupid and I was going to go back and prove to myself that I could be a 4-point student and impress my professors, I did just that. I got out of my own way. I'd always been a person who loved learning, but because I had such traumatic experiences in school, I didn't have any faith in myself. It took a lot of gumption to overcome that limiting belief. And then back to the public speaking piece. I was also petrified of public speaking. I had entertained as a semi-classical vocalist all my life for up to 57,000 people in the Kingdom in Seattle for the Mariners. Now, I had sung in many professional performances, having the lead roles, but public speaking terrified me. It terrifies many people. But I decided that I was going to take a public speaking course, and my professor asked me if I wanted to compete. And that particular year, I decided to do it, and I was scared to death in the competition, but I walked away with 2nd place. The following year, I decided to go back and win. And when I did, I took 1st place in the public speaking competition. I don't know if you can see it, but I did. The point here isn't to impress you, but to impress upon you that we all have limiting beliefs. Mine was that I wasn't very smart, that I couldn't learn. I was wrong. I walked away graduating with a 4.0. With a 4.0. I had lied to myself for most of my life. I told myself that I could not perform in public speaking engagements because it terrified me. I was wrong there too. I walked away with awards, second and first place. I was perfectly capable of public speaking. And now I love it. I enjoy it. I look forward to opportunities to speak in public. You have limiting beliefs as well. The key is to discover what they are, to become aware through a mindfulness practice. Another way that you can do this is you can sit down and you can write down what you believe your limiting beliefs are, but it's not quite as effective as getting in touch with your monkey mind, which is your subconscious, and its constant chatter. This will get you in touch with what is holding you back. Once you go through that mindfulness process, you need to write it down. You need to journal it. And then you need to come up with antidotes to those limiting beliefs. I'm not smart. I am smart. I am capable. At that point, it's just an affirmation. So you're going to have to take a leap of faith and take action to prove to your brain on a regular basis that you are smart, that you can learn. This is just one example. Lovable, I'm not lovable. What can you do to prove that you are lovable? What can you say to yourself to improve that thought process and get rid of that limiting belief? To improve something in our life, to create a new mindset, we have to take new actions. We have to have new thought processes. And it takes practice. And that's where the hard work comes in. You have to practice what you want to think. You have to practice the actions that reflect that new thought process. Today's commitment is to become aware of your limiting beliefs and then to start a mindfulness meditation practice where you can literally become aware of those obstacles that are standing in the way of your greatness. Your limiting beliefs are lies. It's time to start telling a better story. Start speaking a new truth about what and who you are with love and compassion. Now, next week, we're going to talk about self-compassion because while we're going through this process of creating this new, amazing, loving mindset where we do the things we need to do right by us, we need to have compassion because we're going to stumble and fall. We're like a brand new baby learning how to walk. You're going to trip up. You're going to fall. But you need to be able to get back up and get going again. The key to all of this is you never give up. You keep going. A lot of people don't want to put in the work. They're not willing. So are you willing? It's worth it. You're worth it. You deserve it. Now, I hope I've given you something to think about. As always, be bold, be brave, and always, always be yourself, your authentic self. I'll meet you again next week on Thursday, and please sign up for my daily podcast, Journey to Greatness, 365 Days to Your Best Year Yet. And be sure to subscribe above. Take care.